There are plenty of competitive shooters with slide mechanics on the market right now. The FPS genre is probably the most saturated in the gaming world, which makes it extra noticeable when a game like this comes out of absolutely nowhere. Shatterline is a free-to-play roguelike FPS going into early access on September 8th. But there is one feature that FragLab, a previously unknown and unpublished developer, has created that I have never seen in this genre before. Even crazier, after hopping into their playtest, I started to research FragLab and learned that they are based out of Kyiv, Ukraine. They've been making this game in the middle of a fucking war, which, regardless of the unique features that make this free-to-play game easily worth a try, I can't imagine the situation they must be going through. While all around them, their family and friends are being forced with tough decisions and danger, every day they continue on making their game. If that's not passion, I don't know what is. And in my experience, passion pays off. As a creator, I am passionate about showing you guys new games you might not have ever heard of. I'm mentally drained of all the recent negativity in the gaming world, and I am just starving for a positive take in the gaming realm. This is what I have become passionate to give you. Consider subscribing. A new sub is the best way for me to tell that the content that I'm making is actually good and that I should continue moving forward with it. Thanks in advance.
Partner.
Now, this badass team has produced some pretty impressive gameplay, on par with most of the AAA shooters we've seen over the last few years. I could see inspiration from Call of Duty, Destiny, The Division, even Apex Legends. Now, I get bored whenever creators go into like every single little detail of a game they're talking about, like, here are the 5 maps and everything about them, and here's every gun stability, so I'm not gonna put you through all that. Let's just keep it simple. You like simple? Then love tap that like button, you dingus. More people need simple. Now, there are 2 core game modes, Expedition and Versus. In each mode, you select from a set group of operatives or heroes. Each has their own abilities, and playing as a squad running complementing builds has its perks. We'll talk about that in a second. The 2 game modes are wildly different, but have one thing that ties them together: progression. This is what sets Shatterline apart. In the Expedition mode, you and 2 others drop into an open world where you have multiple objectives to complete, and you kind of choose which ones you want to do. You'll come across waves of enemies and fight through many objectives with varying ways to complete them. Afterwards, you're rewarded with weapons that you can use for the rest of the expedition, and 2 minor abilities such as throwable barriers, mines, overshields, heals, and lots of others that are applicable to the operative you chose at the start. You also get an ultimate ability that really comes in pretty clutch. Whether it's a healing tower you can drop and heal all your boys within the circle, or a gallon gun that deals massive damage, they're all pretty OP. All these abilities have cooldowns, so it's best to collaborate with your team and plan them out accordingly. The many objectives that you play through in Expedition are just like appetizers, just some croutons with a light baby spinach. The main course are the bosses. There are a total of 4 bosses, of which you have to make it through to complete the expedition. For each one that you kill, you're awarded blueprints. This is where we get that tie-in to Versus mode. Blueprints can be taken to the armory to unlock modifications that you equip to your weapons you use in PvP mode. This is separate from attachments. We're not talking about like sights and rails, which you do actually gain through kills in PvP. Modifications are like skins you can earn for each weapon that have perks. Perks like faster reload rates or higher headshot damage. With such quick TTK, these can become a pretty massive difference. They are imperative in giving you a quick edge in fights with other players. And the only way that you can obtain them is by playing in this cooperative PvE mode. I love that. In most arena shooters like this, it's really all there is. You're constantly trying to be super sweaty against other players, but in Shatterline, you're basically forced to take a break to run together with other players and combine your skills to complete the objectives as a team. It's just really a refreshing dynamic. Now, back to the expedition. After killing each boss, the game will get tougher. There's a contamination bonus that will add up against you. There's a red ball, I think, that comes after you and your team, and you have to push it away. And a Cthulhu-looking creature that'll just like latch onto you and you can't move till one of your teammates shoots it off. It gets challenging. Many of the PvE modes in games can become repetitive and boring. Not only is the map they throw you in on Shatterline procedural, so it's randomized and changes every game, but the boss fights and overall vibe of the expeditions they're very reminiscent of Destiny and The Division. Spongy enemies that have weak points and require you to collaborate your abilities with your team. The boss fights are challenging, and if you die, the expedition is over. You're penalized by losing some of the blueprints that you gained from that drop. So just don't die, nerd. The PvP has some unique features to give casuals and Timmies a chance against the grandma finger blasting Chads out there. The weapon mod you unlocked using the blueprints will be your first tactic. Then you're gonna have to get kills and gain XP to unlock attachments to improve your recoil or variable sights. In versus, you play in teams of 6 to complete objectives like escort, team deathmatch, capture the point. The modes aren't anything special. They're pretty common in any arena FPS. But the PvP isn't reliant on who has better aim. With multiple ways to get better positioning and collaborative use of your team's abilities, you can outplay opponents if you're resourceful. Like, they have objects like cars and boxes in game that you can kick around to block passageways or reach vantage points. Just like in the expedition mode, each operative has a necessity. Some can break through doors, some can climb up to places that others can't. You really have to coordinate. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the game has low TTK, so it's pretty fast-paced. Putting all this together and actually working with your team is going to be key. If you can get a few buddies to hop into Discord with you, you'll be at an advantage. Now, overall, Shatterline is not a groundbreaking FPS. It's unique, it's fun, and there's not really a lot on the market right now. So, I mean, it's free. So I see zero reason for you not to hop in, play some expeditions, get some kills in PvP, and enjoy yourself. There is so much negativity in the gaming world right now, and seeing a dev team put this much effort into a free-to-play title while their country is under attack is worth the support. I will be buying their battle pass for that reason alone. I'm also going to buy some extras, and we're going to be giving them away on stream today. Link for my channel is in this video's description. Look, there's so many people saying there's nothing good coming out. You gotta know where to look. Like right here. Shatterline is wild, right? But I guarantee you have never seen anything like this. If you can think of a game to compare this to, I give you permission to straight up finger blast that dislike button when you watch. That's a dare.